because you're going to get some capabilities within the winter release that you simply don't have right now.
Yep.
And what Airbnb does, just so you know, I found this out recently, is that they try to bundle as much as they can every quarter. Since they've gone public, right, they have to be very strategic on what they do and how they do it. So how they're doing with this winter release is they're trying to release as many things as they can, earnings, some of the things that we'll walk through, that allow you to see it. If you've updated your app, there's reasons why sometimes people don't update their apps, is because they feel like they're going to lose functionality.
Yes.
And in the past, I can't argue that. But they're trying to address it. They realize and they recognize that a lot of us hosts use our mobile app to do a lot of the communication, a lot of the notification, and they're trying to build this into the winter release. So what I'm about to do is show you 3 or 4 slides. There's a lot more to it. 3 or 4 slides that are there. There's even more that's coming. So even though the winter release is here, try to make sure that when you update your app, you're updating to the latest one, because there's certain things that are released there. I don't know if you guys saw, there's a bunch of things. I can send it to you, I can send it to everybody here. You can watch videos on what this does. So I'm not gonna be the only one here talking about it, but there's gonna be a lot of functionality that they're gonna try to put into the app that allow you to make it easier for you. Because right now, it's not as easy as we want it to be. Co-hosting with other people, how you co-host. I don't think Airbnb recognized how much co-hosting made sense, and now it's its own ecosystem. So just to be mindful of all that. As a volunteer, I'm not an Airbnb employee, but I recognize that there's a lot going on here. So I don't mind being interrupted, so if you guys have any questions, we can walk through it.
Does that affect your bookings? Or just
It positively affects the bookings. It should, there's like guest favorites that are new now.
Yeah.
So a lot of what you do should be based around how Airbnb is trying to promote it. So I appreciate everybody. It's a lot going on right now in the end of the year. So I appreciate everybody here. This is our Airbnb community. I don't know if you guys have, I think everybody should be on our
No,
Facebook
I did
page.
invite some people.
Okay, you'll try to
If
get
anybody
on.
is not on this group, just know this is the official group put up by Airbnb on Facebook for San Diego. I know some of you I invited from another group that I founded about 8 years ago, and that is great. You guys are here. You're welcome to join both of the groups. Anybody who is not on the other group, you'll find it later. I'm sure it'll be suggested on your Facebook page. It's called San Diego San Diego Airbnb and Short-Term Rentals Group.
So why am I excited? Why are we all excited about this? There's a couple things you can do from an amenities perspective. Airbnb already on the app allows you to look at how long or what your Wi-Fi is doing. I don't know if you guys have looked at that. There's certain amenities that they're starting to add to it. So if you, like for us, we're very close to the ocean. We can take a picture whenever I get somebody to come and take pictures for us. I always try to get them to take a picture of where it is in proximity to where we are at. So a lot of those are adding the amenities that we're talking about within the app. There's also being able to create a photo tour. You'll see that it's kind of applied within your app. So if you guys have the winter release, we're talking a lot about like putting things in sections, saying this is the bathroom, this is the hallway, this is if you have accessibility from a handicap perspective, you can start to put pictures and post that out so people can see it. What we're noticing a lot is that the more pictures you have, the better quality and all the rest of that, the higher chance you have of having a booking, right? And provide in check-in details. So a lot of what's happening is check-in and check-out. They're wanting to address it within the app. So the winter release is the first part of that, and they're planning on a lot more things outside of that. Any questions so far?
I do.
Yeah.
I always send my own checkout or check-in instructions. So are they getting a dual?
The winter release will have that. You can opt in and opt out of it. I have that in as well. I have a check-in and check-out instructions. It's to be determined. It's still it's not part of the winter. It's part of what they call the winter release, but it still is coming. It's pending.
So they're not right now. They're not getting.
They're not.
How do I where do I go to opt
So
out?
once
when
you
you go
join
to
once you join the winter release, you will have a number of items already at your disposal right now, and a number of items will come later.
So you'll be able to opt in and opt out of that. What you'll want to do is when you get the winter release, you'll see it's pending. I would love if I could present my phone and show you on my phone, but it just doesn't, we didn't really plan for that. So.
Okay.
Do you happen to know if they're ever gonna have like a video tour option?
They want to, but not right now. But it doesn't mean you can't do it on your own.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
but then you can't share it until someone books it.
Yes, that's the problem too.
Yeah.
So one of the things they also have is an earnings dashboard. So if you guys are using this, even as co-host here, the earnings dashboard is really interesting. I mean, there are limitations, but it allows you to look at, it's broken up by month, looks at the details, so you can go directly to your transactions and know what's being paid. I think all of us are here for the earnings, or most of us should be here for the earnings. So it's an important piece of this, right? So the earnings dashboard is something I think that if you want on the winter release, it should be something that you should go to. So you have year-to-date summary, you have the payout details. I've been a host for 7 years, so some of that where you're sending things, where you're asking for all your different transactions, all of it works now. I don't know if you guys used it in the past, it hasn't worked. Sometimes you didn't get all the details, sometimes you did. It actually works pretty well now. So the payout details, if you can go out back to, I can go back to 7 years, so I'm not sure they have anything outside of that. So settings, documentation, some of the tax things that you, and I'm sure we'll be talking about as well. They're all in the winter release. And one of the things I think I wanted to mention here is ratings and reviews. You know, it's really important for all of us here. But this guest favorite is supposedly part of that piece. I'm lucky enough to have one of my properties as a guest favorite, and I'm noticing a lot more engagement with guest favorites than non-guest favorites. So I think it's 4.9 is where you want to be. That's like a super host, but I think it's a little bit higher from a higher quality perspective. So if you can aim for that, that really does. And I'm a good A/B tester because I can see both what works and what doesn't work.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Do you know if you use a third-party software like a HostAway, does that limit your use on things like the photo tour or any of these other?
I don't use it personally myself, but I heard it doesn't. But I only heard, I haven't experienced it myself.
I think Airbnb just changed it a few months ago where you can actually now go into the amenities on Airbnb and override. It'll still link up, so if you don't have it clicked on whatever platform you're using, every time you sync it, it won't sync up. But if there's something that's not on your platform and it's on Airbnb's, you can click as many as you want and it will show up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know I said I like being interrupted, but I want to get through this.
So I get called on.
At the end of the day, I'm also a board member of the Short-Term Vacation Rental Alliance. It's a volunteer position as well. And if you guys aren't there, there's a lot of opportunity to join and why you'd want to join. There's a lot of regulations that's going to occur that have occurred, and only more regulations are going to occur more. So to be part of a group, it's really important for us to all speak from I don't know if you guys know about Proposition 584 that happened last year, but I mean, it came from a senator in Sacramento, which could care less about the beach cities, right? But knew that there's a lot of revenue in the beach cities. So we're going to be constantly targeted, guys. And it would be great to join, to be part of that group, so we can have this as a supplement to the other one. But I don't want to take any more time from that. Here it is. You can present that, or I can send it to you guys as well. But I would love to talk. I know the highlight of our thing is with our CPA here. That's going to talk about some of the Airbnb loopholes.
Yeah, but I'd like to actually enhance or highlight on what he said. I was actually there before for personal reasons. I had to move on, but the Short-Term Rental Alliance in San Diego is a very important organization. If you guys remember, what has it been now? 5 years since the regulation happened in San Diego? It was us. We were there, San Diego Short-Term Rental Alliance, some of the people in our group were the ones that were talking to, the mayor back then and the mayor now, and trying to figure out the best outcome of that regulation. And so that's behind us now, and that is great. I mean, I feel like, some people on the beach got the wrong end of it, but I feel like San Diego as a whole, we did good. But now the problem is that's not going to be the last time. So if you guys can, and you can spare, a membership, obviously, they're going to ask you for some money. If you can spare some money and get a membership with San Diego Short-Term Rental Alliance, please do it, because this is never going to end. You know how it goes when it comes to politics. So here we go. I know. Thank you, Jerry.
Yep.
Please. This guy's been